What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the Collective Clips, where you already know, man, we're about to get it in. But before we do, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bells on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content that I'm kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support, man. Thank you guys so much. GP the Beast. There's been a lot of individuals that have got at me, a lot of supporters, subscribers that have asked me to comment on this guy, do a review, a reaction to what he's talking about. Now, I'm going to be totally honest with you, quietly as it's kept. I had never heard the name GP the Beast till about a week and a half ago when it happened to come up across my feed as a new prison channel. I guess he is a rapper that did an extensive amount of time incarcerated, general population, 4 yards, 3 yards, just got out a while back, man, and has a lot of stories to tell. Now, I will say this, I could appreciate the art of storytelling, man. I appreciate the realness in this guy, watching his channel because I support Black and Brown movement. I seen a brother, man, a new prison channel. It was most definitely a fact that I was going to have to tap in. I was going to have to show some support, and I absolutely did that. Now, when it comes to this guy, GP the Beast, you could tell by his mannerism, his characteristics, and the way he carries himself in a respectful manner that he actually did do a nice amount of time, that he actually was really about that business, was activated on every level. And I will say this, there's reasons why people ask me to do reactions to certain people. It's because they want to know my input. If I feel that this guy is real, if I feel that this guy is really about that business, about that life. Now, I will say this, everybody has a different story to tell. Prison affects everybody differently. Everybody did theirs according to the correctness of what they had going on, according to their people. What's going to be for me is not going to be the same for GP the Beast, and absolutely vice versa. But I love the stories he tells. This one in particular, I wanted to speak on. I wanted to react to actually, because it's actually about a sureno stabbing a white boy crip to death. Now, white boy crips, man, are very far and few between. You're not going to see many of them, but the ones I have had a chance to interact with or see on yards were about the business, man. They definitely went all out, man. It seemed like they had to do a lot more to achieve that respect that was just naturally given to other individuals. In some cases, I have seen some wanksters, man, some motherfuckers that got utilized, beat up, toe down, and that was it. But for the most part, most white boy crips that I did see, and like I said, there wasn't a lot of them on the yard. They had it bad. They had it bad. Not only were they targeted most of the time by their own people to be on frontline status, meaning if something cracked off, they were the first ones to do a hit, a pegada, whatever, to participate fully, but also by the adversary, which naturally would be on a racial tip, the white boys, the Woods, the Skins, they always seem to trip on another white man that wasn't sticking to his own race, that was, going against the grain, that actually turned black on him. So that's how they felt. But I have ran into some white boy crips, man, and I could tell you this much, man, they're not nothing to be fooled with. So this is a story GP the Beast is talking about. I'm going to react to it, man. You let me know what you think. A lot of subscribers have asked me, what's up with this guy? And all I can say, man, straight up and real shit, this is what it is. Let's go.
What's up? It's your boy GP the Beast, man, and I'm back. I got some more heat for your ass. You know what I'm talking about? This time we in CMC, state prison. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all might be familiar with that. We're going to touch on that 2017 riot, the blacks against the Mexicans. GP the Beast was on the yard. GP the Beast was in the building. GP the Beast had to get active.
Now I'll tell you right off the top, man.
This was on my last bit.
I love this guy's editing, man.
So this wasn't too long ago. Anyway, tune in, man. This shit about to go crazy.
With a deadly riot at the California Men's Colony in San Luis Obispo. KSBY News reporter Alexa Bertola explains what happened.
So let's talk about CMC. CMC prison, back in my days when I was doing time, 1 yard was considered trash. It was considered non-active, no good. It was one of the first yards that they would send dropouts to, or they would send, non-active people that considered themselves non-active. It was also considered a soft yard. I know that CMC, I think it was CMC East, not CMC West, but I'm not for sure. I never went to CMC. I heard the stories about having a key to your cell. You could open your own cell, and everybody wanted to go there because of that particular thing. But I do know that one of the yards was fully functioning and active. And according to this newscast and to what GP the Beast is saying, CMC was cracking. So let's get back to the story and see what's happening with it.
Kelsey, it's a much different scene out here this evening, much quieter than it was just several hours ago when more than 150 inmates rioted. Tonight, one inmate is dead and 8 others are injured. Chaos at the California Men's Colony. One ambulance after another rushed inmates to the hospital. A massive riot broke out at a yard in the East.
So I like his style, the way he's presenting the story as far as giving you news clips to the actual and factual business that happened. That's a great thing because it seems like in the prison genre, everybody always wants to fact check, what you're saying. They want to make sure that the story is real. They can't just go with the entertainment value of it. They want to make sure that this actually took place and happened. Obviously, this was a riot between surenos and crips. Not a far-fetched thing. It's something that if you've done time, you see all the time. It happens. Most of the time, it's the blacks, period, against other groups. So for this just to be the crips against the surenos, there must have been some type of conflict. Let's get to it, man. I want to see exactly, what's going on with this.
Facility with more than 160 inmates involved in the melee. CMC correctional officers used 40mm less than lethal rounds and chemicals to try to bring the chaos under control. None of the staffers were hurt. 9 inmates were stabbed.
When we call a mass casualty incident, we call for all hands on deck.
Several had critical wounds.
Our trauma surgeon did request that the OR crew come and be here on standby.
One inmate died at the hospital. CMC staff say that man was 25-year-old Matthew Cook. He was serving nearly 14 years for several counts of first-degree burglary. As for the reason behind the riot turned deadly, that will be looked into in the days to come.
Yeah, that was Matthew Cook. He was a white boy crip, but he was fucking with the black.
Again, man, I like the way that GP the Beast is showing actual pictures. He's giving something to look at, and that's what it is when you're a content creator, especially a prison content creator. You want to give, a picture so the people know what you're talking about. There's a lot of people that watch the prison channels that don't exactly know where these institutions, these prisons are, how they look inside. You could describe them and they've been described from top to bottom, but you never actually know the aura or the feeling or what it is until you've actually hit them yards, from reception to, of course, R&R, right to a yard, a facility, dorm living, cell living. It's all different, depending upon, what your status is, what your level is, and what you're doing. There are a lot of people that have been to prison on 1 and 2 yards who have just lived in dorms, man, and they can give you that perspective. But this is real cell living. This is the type of shit that happens. When it cracks in prison, there are going to be bodies. It's really going to happen. 9 times out of 10, there's not going to be a fist fight unless it's within your own group behind, the doors in your cell. But most groups don't like to put hands on their own people unless they're pushed to that brink. A lot of the times, a lot of things that happen on these yards are going to be between other groups, or it's going to be a removal within your own. So let's see what GP's talking about, man.
So when they killed him, they killed one of ours.
The white boy.
So they won that war that day. Because sad to say, Matthew misjudged the situation. Technically, he didn't even have enough points to be there. You see, in prison, right?
Smooth.
Inmates really be tripping off real estate. And that was the year that they had started letting all the Mexicans out of the hole who had been in the hole. So they had made CMC a good yard. It became a good yard for Mexicans because one of their OG shot callers had got released from the hole and they put him in CMC.
As you can see right off the top, man, GP the Beast, he got that swag. I'm not sure where the brother's from, but he's definitely, you could tell he definitely was involved at a high level. He definitely did do time. He knows what he's speaking on, what he's talking about. And I like the fact that he's breaking it down, letting you know exactly what happened from the moment he woke up in the morning, all day long. Most of these prison channels, myself included, you're going to get straight to the gist of things. A lot of people that observe these channels want to hear people talk about, actually what happened immediately. Let's get straight to the point. They want to let's go to stab. But in order to break a story down, to be a good storyteller, and if you've actually lived through it, then you'll remember every little detail. That's one thing about prison. You don't forget nothing. You remember how it smelled that morning, what you ate for breakfast, what was in that sack lunch, how many times you flushed the toilet, if you were allowed to flush more than once an hour. You're going to remember all these certain things, man. And I can see that GP has definitely participated in all those functions. So I love listening to his storytelling, man. Let's get straight to this, because this right here is real.
Now, what I said about they be tripping off real estate. Now, of course, they hadn't really had no way pal. They hadn't had no section. They created a section. They had created a little bench on the side, and they was getting deeper and deeper. I knew that while they was getting deeper and deeper, it was soon going to be an issue. Although I fuck with the Mexicans, I like how they function. I like how they structure. But they be on some manly shit.
He was trying to get his
I'm talking about, and when they want something, they tripping. Well, they wanted a way pal, and they wanted a big section of it, and they was tripping. And it had been meetings about it all day, repeatedly.
Man. Now, there's always going to be somebody on the yard that's running numbers, running a ticket, and what he says is truths and facts, man. On the weekends, it's playtime. On the weekends, it's downtime. Not a lot of people are going to their jobs, especially if you work PIA, things of that nature. You got days off, just like on the streets. You got days off. And a lot of people mellow out, watch the football games, watch the basketball games, and there's always someone that's running a ticket. There's always people, just like going to a casino, man, you're going to find a little bit of everything. Now, if you indulge in gambling in prison, you can find yourself in a mixed up situation. Typically, that's what happens in prison. A lot of people like to gamble. A lot of people they're not going for the thrill of the win. They're going for the fucking eye of the tiger. They're trying to get that money. It's all about money, money equals power, and power is equivalent to respect. So people are trying to have that. They're trying to eat some soups. They're trying to live, get a couple deodorants. A low commissary never hurt nobody, especially if you ain't got a big old torta, chipping in. So now, running the ticket, man, like I said, there's always going to be somebody there. You can gamble on football games. You can gamble on pretty much anything, man. I've seen people gamble on flips of coins, facts. But gambling was never my thing, because I always knew that getting involved with that, man, that was like basically, putting yourself and your people in jeopardy, because if you couldn't pay what you weigh, homie, they were going to take a piece of meat up out of you. Facts. That's just real.
And the California men's colony is under lockdown at this hour. We're told that can remain in effect for the next several days. In San Luis Obispo, Alexa Bertola, KSCI
that right there is
News.
CMC West.
California men's colony houses more than 4,100 inmates, both minimum and medium
he has
security.
The picture of the brothers.
And as Alexa
Everybody
reported, there
segregates
are
themselves,
two
man,
facilities
to your
at
own.
the prison. The West facility on your right houses minimum security inmates.
Yeah, I like the
it
editing,
offers
smooth
camps
with
for the
it.
fire suppression, conservation, and community service projects. But the riot broke out at the yard of East facility there on your left.
As you see the brothers right there, man, how they're separate from everyone else, man. Like I said, everyone will segregate according to racial, lines
because
and gang
of all the
lines.
treatment programs and
is.
job training offered at the complex. Inmates sometimes referred to CMC as the country club.
I like the actual pictures of the inside of CMC.
I don't know what part of the prison they talking about, but that motherfucker sure wasn't no country club. You know what I'm talking about? That motherfucker was active and it was getting busy, and niggas end up dying on this motherfucking day. Let me tell you how the morning started.
He's getting to the gist of the story, man, starting to tell the story. It's a little bit slow as far as storytelling because he's so detailed. It's like reading a Stephen Kuntz book or Stephen, what is that? Who's that motherfucker that wrote the movie It? Stephen King. Dean Kuntz, Stephen King. Very detailed in his delivery, but he brings a certain level to this prison genre shit, man, where he sucks you in as far as you want to hear what this man's talking about. Doesn't matter what race you are. A good prison story is a good prison story because it's real, man. I could see by his shirt unity. I could see by the way his mannerisms, he's carrying himself. He's speaking from experience. This is all true. Now, I actually did do some research into this video. I did do some research into this actual incident. It did occur. It happened, man. He's not telling fake lies. He's telling truths. And I respect that about him, man. So we're going to get a little bit more into this, man. Let's trip out on it.
The weekend, Saturday morning. I fucks with the weekend hella tough because I fucks with the sports and I run the ticket in the prison. So every weekend, I'm going to get about a gallon, maybe 2 gallons of wine, and we're going to fuck with it, watch sports, do the tickets, make this money. You know what I'm saying? So we up there, we done got our shit. I go out to go get my drink, and hella niggas is grouped up. I'm like, why is shit looking spooky around here? Shit ain't looking right. Bro, that's with me. He like, yeah, I'm seeing it too. I'm like, niggas is grouping up. What's going on? So we find out, you know, the Mexicans, you know, is tripping a little bit. You know, they want to fuck with the, they want their weight pal. They want their property, man. They want their real estate. So niggas is talking about it. I'm not really indulging.
So we're going to speak some facts right here, man. The largest and biggest group of individuals in any prison in California is going to be the Southsiders or surenos, depending upon their status. Now, the brothers are deep on a lot of yards, but for the most part, when it comes to Mexicans, you have North, you have South, you have Bulldogs being segregated, you know, to their own separate yards. But Southerners are always deep. The typical yard layout of a 4-yard, 3-yard is going to be anywhere from about 200 Southsiders, 80 to 90 blacks. If there's Northerners on that yard, maybe 20. If that, whites, maybe 40. And then others, maybe 15, 20. That's just how it is on any yard. So Southerners definitely have the numbers. They're the more dominant group. So you're going to see a lot of static. You're going to see a lot of trouble between the two largest groups, which of course are the blacks and the Southside. It's just been that way. You know, a lot of people like to say that Southerners are racial towards blacks or blacks are racial towards Southerners. And it's more so not necessarily a racial thing. It's more so a power thing. You know, when you feel that you want a certain area or you want to expand your bars or your workout area, you know, and the other side or another group has it, then you take by force or, you know, most of the time there's politicking involved and it's a respect thing. So, you know, you just go ask and people will be, you know, there's people that are going to be, you know, they want convenience, man. That's one thing about prison. So they're going to look out for you because they, you know, they know what it is. Because they know, man, if it gets real vicious, you know, the Southsiders will definitely move up in your territory and try to take it. They're known for that, man. That's what they do. It's facts. Let's get to it.
Too much. I'm really trying to get the fuck home. They gave me 17 years on this shit. Nigga, I done got old in the motherfucker. I'm not trying to be hella active. I'm not trying to be frontline and shit. I'm really trying to kick back, man, and get the fuck up out of here, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? This shit bad for me. 17 was fucking with me and killing me right now, nigga. So I'm really trying to do all the right shit to change my life. So, but I see the shit going on. I'm out there, though, nigga. If it do go crazy, I'm finna do what I do. It's cool, though. It kind of like mellowed down. I get to drink. We go back up in the building. We go up in the...
Okay. So, again, the story's stretched out a little bit, but I'm definitely feeling the vibe, right? The way he's breaking it down, the way he's reliving it, the way the hand movements, the gestures, I'm liking this guy's channel, man. I would definitely support his channel as far as, you know, gente people going to watch it because I truly believe, man, what he speaks is the truth. Well, I know it's the truth. But to actually be there and involved in something the caliber of this riot where there was actually a body, you know, not a lot of people could say that. You know, you get involved in little melees and people consider them riots, but usually they're just melees, little things of that nature. But this definitely was a big one. You know, there was a body. And again, you know, things happen. You know, to say that I haven't been involved or I haven't seen nothing to this caliber, man, I'd be lying. I've seen some things that will blow your mind that I haven't even spoken on yet. And we're going to get to that on my channel. But GP the Beast is the truth. I'm appreciating this. So let's watch a little bit more, man. I'm gonna have to make a part 2 out of this because, you know, the story's taking a long time, but it's real.
The building, we up in the day room. We watching the TV. You know, I'm watching the game, see if I'm winning or losing. If I'm winning or losing, because it's me against the whole prison. I run the ticket in the whole prison. So it's me against the whole prison. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do. I'm killing them like that, right? So yeah, we fucking with it. And we in the day room drinking. All of a sudden, we like, niggas is out there fighting, bro. Look. Niggas is out there going crazy. It's the niggas against the white boys. Niggas is knocking white boys out, though. They running.
Facts. Anyone who's ever been incarcerated knows, man, what this guy's talking about and how he's speaking on things. It's truth, you know. It's just it's like a breath of fresh air listening to it from a different perspective. See, you know, within your own group, you know, your views, your goals, what you're going after. You know, hearing it from someone else, hearing a story from a different perspective, a different race, different ethnicity, is just a trip. You know, I enjoy it. I am going to make this into a part 2. Again, man, people wanted me to talk about how I feel about GP the Beast. I never did time with him, don't know him personally, but I like his channel. I am definitely going to support his channel. I will do a part 2 on GP the Beast, man. This story, man, if you haven't tapped into it, Sureno stab to death, a white boy, crip, and CMC, make sure that you go, you share it, you like it, you subscribe to his channel, man. Go show him some support. I definitely have, and it's definitely real. You know, like I said, you know, those that have been there know what I'm talking about. You could tell. Okay, you can tell when someone's faking it, when someone's trying too hard, and you can tell when someone's being real. And this is an actual factual person that's been, you know, incarcerated and was involved at a high level, man. And I respect that. With that being said, man, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose, get everything that you want coming. And remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the struggle, to strive, to struggle, man. And I will definitely do a part 2, man. Thank you to my subscribers for asking me to speak on this, man. He's definitely a real one, and that's a fact. You know what I mean? No doubt. Bang, bang.